So why did we choose a public school? Why not private school? Why not just stay in China and go to school? They got great international schools. Or why not homeschool? Well, I'm going to talk about each of these scenarios and how it applies to us. Oh, and by the way, this video is just a brief summary of the US education system. If you want to know it more in depth, please click the link below and download my free Ultimate Guide PDF to the American education system. First day of school. You don't look very excited. Tired? Yeah. My big boy's going into kindergarten. 13 more years of school to go starting today. Plus college.
What?
And med school or law school. Ready? We gotta get going.
No, I didn't even finish my note.
Finish it quick. Wow, 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 wow. You got a milk mustache. You're all spiffy. New shirt, new backpack.
You're spiffy. You're so spiffy.
Nice thing about his school is that it starts at 9:15, so we don't have to wake up super early. I've heard it gets to be like a zoo, parking for kindergarten and new families. That's us. You ready to go?
So heavy.
You don't even have books in there yet. We got here a little early. They don't open until 8:45. Oh, there's a big yawn. Excited but tired. Are you nervous?
Excited.
Excited? Is that a new word you just invented? Hey, who stole my phone? I think this is it. 206. Hi.
What's this say?
Helen. I guess you get this side. Look at all this cool stuff. There you are. That's you. You got bubbles, you got drawing stuff. Mom and Daddy gonna go, right? Can I have a hug? Bump off? Okay. Have fun today, okay? I'll see you in the afternoon. He's already forgotten about me. As a father, I don't know, should I be crying? He's like, Dad, just go.
8 hours later.
Alright, just waiting in line to pick Xiaomai up from his first day of school. I was late to signing up for the bus, so hopefully I won't have to do this again because it's pretty busy. Alright, buddy. You did it. Look at that hat. How was your first day?
你说什么？
没说什么。
说那个麦克老师生气。大家好，我是麦克老师，再见。
How was your first day of school? What did you like about it? Bubbles? You got to make bubbles? Did you like your teacher?
I made a hat.
I rocked the first day of kindergarten. Oh, that's pretty cool. What does that mean to rock something?
It means
You did it so well.
I rocked the first day of school.
What else did you do? Probably the most boring interview I've ever done. I'm picking your nose on camera. It's gross.
It's yummy.
Oh, yuck. Go throw that away. Where'd it go? Yuck. Oh my goodness. All right, we're done. We are done.
1 week later.
So, Xiaomai has officially been in school for 1 week. He absolutely loves it. He's making friends. He really likes his teachers. Probably enjoys that little bit of independence that he hasn't really had before. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the US public school system, how it works, and some of the differences with China's school system. We intentionally chose living in this area, particularly this county, which is called Wake County, because it is known for really good schools. They're not all great, but most of them are quite good, or at least they're highly rated. I guess the thing that impressed me most was just how simple it is just to get your child enrolled at a school. It obviously also affected where we chose to live and rent an apartment. And if and when we choose to buy a house, that's also going to be a factor. Just like in China, you have 学区房. But after we found a really good school and an apartment that we liked that was next to that school, all I had to do was bring my lease in to prove that I was actually living in that area, and his birth certificate, which was from China, and vaccine record. Boom, he was in. And we did this in May of this year, which is pretty late to be registering your kid for school. But they take education here very, very seriously. They want to make sure every kid gets into school, no matter your socioeconomic status, your immigration status. Every kid has a guaranteed right to get into a school. So you could literally, as a non-citizen, fly here and come in on a tourist visa, which you can stay for 6 months, rent an apartment, bring your child's birth certificate, and register him or her for school. And there's nothing that anyone can really do to stop you. I wouldn't recommend that, but it is entirely possible. Now, if there weren't any spots for Xiaomai in the school that he's at now, he would have been placed into an overflow school, which is nearby. The overflow school was still good, but definitely not as good as the one he's at right now. They have a cap of 24 students per class. In his class right now, there are 20 students and 2 teachers. So there's about a 10 students to 1 teacher ratio. The facilities are really nice, and the whole process went very, very smoothly. The school that Xiaomai was placed at is his base school. And for each base school, there is a year-round option. This is an amazing idea. I don't know why more schools don't do this. But basically, students will go to school for 9 weeks at a time, and then they'll get 3 weeks off. And there will be 4 groups in each school that do this, and they will rotate which 3 weeks they get off. This idea came about to help solve the problem of overcrowding in schools so that they could utilize the summer months too to have kids in school. And this way they can have 33% more kids in school throughout the school year. Of course, everybody gets the traditional holidays like Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving, and a spring break. But we thought that would be awesome to have 3 weeks off out of every 12 weeks. We could go back to visit family in China. We could go travel somewhere off peak, you know, cheaper tickets, cheaper accommodation. So of course we applied for the year-round option. Unfortunately, we were denied, probably partially due to the fact we didn't apply until May of this year, so it didn't give them much time. Or it could have just been that the kindergarten was full, which wouldn't surprise me because the year-round option is very, very popular here, and I can see why. In addition to year-round school, we could also apply for magnet schools. These are schools where entrance is by lottery only, so if you feel lucky, you can try it. But they have language immersion programs, including one in Chinese, but that's in Raleigh, which would be about a 20 to 25 minute drive. And because it's so far away, there may not be any school bus service, so I'd have to drive him back and forth every day. Besides language schools, there are art schools, STEM schools. It just kind of depends what kind of path you want for your child. So why did we choose a public school? Why not private school? Why not just stay in China and go to school? They got great international schools. Or why not homeschool? Well, I'm going to talk about each of these scenarios and how it applies to us. Of course, everyone's situation and every kid is a little bit different. But I will say that one of the reasons that we did leave China for the US was Xiaomai's education. He was going to a great international school. We absolutely loved it. The staff, the facilities, everybody was amazing. However, it is just really, really expensive. And of course, private schools here are also really, really expensive. I think there's a lot of value in having an international education and growing up multilingual and being around people from many different cultures and learning from them, which I think there's still a lot of that here, because a lot of kids in his class come from different cultures and speak different languages. However, he's definitely missing out on the Mandarin learning aspect of education right now. There are plenty of Chinese language clubs and activities for him to do, so we do plan to get him involved in those. But at the end of the day, paying that kind of money every year was just not really feasible for us. The other alternatives for him in China were homeschool or public school. So Xiaomai is an American passport holder, and that prevents him from getting a hukou. And our apartment was right next to a really great kindergarten and elementary school. And even though my wife has a Shanghai hukou and we own our apartment, because Xiaomai is not able to get a hukou, that means we would be very low on the priority list for getting into that school. So low, in fact, they basically told us it was impossible. And if we registered for public school in Shanghai, he'd get a spot, but it could be pretty far away. And we did consider it for a little while because we thought maybe getting him into a local school for kindergarten and first grade could really solidify his Mandarin. And then after first grade, we could make the move to the US. So if that were the case, we would still be in China for this year and next year, and then probably planning a move for 2026. In the end, we didn't think that was a great idea either, which left homeschool as an option. I'm a big supporter of homeschool. I think the results speak for themselves, and that kids that are homeschooled often graduate early. They do much better academically on average, but you still have to make sure your kids are getting socialized. The problem for Xiaomai is that he is super extroverted. He just wants to be around other kids all the time, and that's really tough for him because he's an only child. In the end, we just didn't feel that homeschooling was right for him. That's not to say we won't homeschool in the future. There are hybrid options where kids go to school for 2 days a week and then 3 days a week you teach them at home. But for right now, I just don't see the need. He's at a great school, which he loves. It's just been a really nice and easy transition so far. think that's about it. Hope I've shed some light on the U.S. public school system, at least here in Cary, North Carolina. Please let me know in the comments what you think, or if you have any questions. And as always, stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy. 我是 Michael 老师，下次再见。